Maintenance man here, and if you didn't already know, I was fired again today by Mr. Dog Poop. This time because he can't light his video scene with these cheap-ass video lights. Sure, they're fine for putting a shadow on the face, but this is not gonna light up a whole room. Of course, it's my fault, but I'm gonna show you how I fixed the problem for a couple $100. We already know this is not going to do the job. You need something bigger. But can you really afford an Aputure 600 or an Aputure 1200 for $4,000? You don't need it. Because this is a parking lot light, and it puts out enough light to light an entire parking lot. And it only costs $100. With the convenient light switch, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. If you're buying video lights, you're paying for convenience. If you're buying parking lot lights, you're paying for light. These lights have huge heat sinks, put out a massive amount of light, and these lights are weatherproof. You can put this out in the snow, the rain, a flood, it doesn't matter. Try that with your $4,000 Aputure light. The only problem is, this doesn't fit on a light stand. Or does it? So these use a 2-inch pipe insert. So what I did, I took 2-inch aluminum pipe, welded a bottom on it, and added a TVMP connector. Now this will fit on a 5/8 baby pin or in a combo stand. That also fits right in the end, so it can be attached. That gives you a light stand connection. If you want to do 2, I put this together. And if you want to do 4, you can use speed rail fittings and put one here, one here, one here, and one here. That's a lot of light. So this is a 2-inch steel pipe. I took a couple washers, put them on, and welded them in the hole so that I could put a TVMP connector right there. Same as this one. This is aluminum, this is steel. Doesn't matter. You might have to go out and buy a 12mm Allen head socket for $10 because that's what adjusts the light. You can change the angle to anything you want. Whoops. With the cheap lights, you can barely see the victim. But with parking lot lights, you can definitely see the difference. So when you're working outside at night, you need some real light. Get yourself a Matthews crank-evator for about $7,000 or $8,000. Put your $200 lights on top, and you can light up an entire neighborhood. That cost us $200. Yes, we have a Matthews crank-evator, that's $7,000. But in an upcoming video, we're going to show you how you can use a drywall lift for $150. So for $350, you can have the exact same setup. So that's only 2 lights, a total of 400 watts. If we went to 800 or 1,000 watts, it would look like the sun. If you try to fire me again, none of this stuff is going to happen. So this is a 1200 watt DeSisti HMI mercury vapor lamp. This is the ballast. Let's compare our $200 lights with this $10,000 DeSisti 1200 watt HMI light. So this is a power light, so you can change the focal length on the parabolic reflector. But this is a 1200 watt, $10,000 light, and this one is $200. there's really no comparison in the amount of light this thing puts out. I mean, this definitely has some range, but is it gonna light the area up the same way? I mean, it can definitely create some heavy light on our subject and up and around. So if you want to direct it, if you want to do shadows, if you want to do something cinematic, this is nice. 10,000, 200. You decide. That's 2 lights, 200 watts each, about 400 watts. Put a couple of 300 watts up there, put some 450s, or put 1,000 watts combined with 5 of those, and you can imagine the lighting you could get. You're gonna spend $500-600 if you put 4 or 5 lights up there, or you can spend 10,000 on one. The nice thing about working with bright lights is you can always modify it using things like cuckolorises, flags, and diffusers. So a nice thing about using multiple lights is you can disconnect a light. So you only want to use one light. You can then use things like diffusers to cut down the light on your subject. There we have harsh light, and then we diffuse it down wherever you want to do it. Something like a cuccoloris can then create shadows. So using different types of cuccolorises, so here's a Swiss cheese cuccoloris that we made. So we can create all kinds of effects, and I'm just holding this in front. If we were to set these up on stands and put diffusers and flags in here and shape the light, you can imagine what we could possibly do. But you can't do that if you don't have enough light. Parking lot lights give you an affordable solution for outdoor lighting. Daytime, nighttime, or indoor lighting when you need a lot of light. These also are 100% weatherproof, so you can use these outside. Other than your cords and extension cords, the lights are weatherproof, so they can get rain. You don't want to keep your $4,000 Aputure light out in the rain, but this one, you can. And it'll do the same thing. Now, does it put out as much light? I'm pretty sure 4 or 5 of these will, for a whole lot less money. So here's a $2 roll of cellophane wrapping paper that we got on Amazon. And you can take this and change your colors. And you can mix colors. You can put green, blue, they come in all kinds of colors. We're gonna do another video about the cellophane, but look at how that changes the light. Is that a blood moon or what? So this is our $150 per kit. 2 of these for $150, so about $75. A little bit less than one of the other lights. And you know, you're not gonna do a lot with this outside. It's at 6,500. We'll turn that up to full. So that's 100%. It's not bad. It's okay. I mean, that's what you call cinematic lighting, which we in the business call just too dark. You can definitely do nighttime lighting with this. This is kind of cool because it does have different modes and you can do different colors. So these lights aren't bad. Everything has a place, but we can accomplish the same thing with the other lights, not all the modes and the flashes. And if you want to get those, $75, $150 a set is great. But if you need a lot of light, this just isn't going to do it. It looks like a professional video light. No one is going to question if you go on set. They're not going to question whether this is a decent light. It's on top of a good stand. It looks professional. It's just you worried about using a $100 light. To tell you the truth, there are more of these being used in Hollywood productions than anybody ever talks about. Because when it comes to lighting, it's about getting the lighting and not about where the light's coming from. Don't ever fucking cough while I'm talking. Don't ever fucking cough while I'm talking. You'd be fired so fast. Don't cough between my talking.